Hey gang, how's it going? I am not looking my best. I feel like when you have pink hair, you can kind of get away with it, can't you? I think I get away with this. So, if you don't know, Dancing on Ice is back on the TV in the UK, and it's the best show ever. I'm in love with it. It is such a good show, so I thought I would do a little series of Dancing on Ice related content. So this is the first. I feel like my tripod's a little bit shaky, I'm sorry. So there are basically 5 basic moves all of the dancers this week pretty much had in them. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to talk you through how to do them. So we'll start off with forwards lemons, then we'll do backwards lemons, then outside 3 turns, inside 3 turns, and finish off with a basic 2-foot spin from just a 2-foot edge entry. Once you've got those things down, you are ready to do your own Dancing on Ice routine. So here you go. Obviously, before you start with this stuff, you should be able to do forwards and backwards stroking. The backwards stroking is not so important, I want to say. The only thing you really need it for are the back lemons. You do end up backwards with the 3 turns because they're turns, but if you've got your stroking down, you are ready to go onto this. If you would like a video on how to do basic stroking, just tell me and I can do that next time I'm at the rink. So forwards lemons are a super basic ice skating move. So you start with your feet together in first position in ballet, your knees slightly bent. You push out with both feet and then you push out with both feet and then pull back in to create a lemon shape on the ice, and you should be able to do rows of them. They take a little bit of time to get your head around, but if you bend your knees as you push out and then straighten up as you pull in, you should be able to do it. And I was always taught to try and hear like click clack as you hit, because you really want your feet to toes. You really want your feet to touch as you do it. So you want as you go forward and you pull back in, your toes to touch, and before you go, so you hear the click, and before you go back out again, you want the clack of your heels, and then you can go back out into your next one. Once you have mastered them forward, you are ready to do them backwards. So the back lemon is very, very similar, except you start with your toes together, not your heels together, and you push out backwards and then pull back in. So still with the click clack, just going in the opposite direction. You want to go backwards this time. So make sure you've got your arms out and your head over your shoulder and you can see where you're going. But apart from that, it's very, very similar. Just takes a bit of practice to get down. Next, we're going to go into our 3 turns, which are the most basic one of the most basic turns. Before you get into your 3 turns, I'm just going to show you how to do a 2-foot turn, which is sort of the beginning of a 3 turn. So you just want one arm in front of you, one arm behind, and you want to go onto the outside edge of the foot on the side of your behind arm, if that makes sense. And then swivel your hips and turn so that your behind arm is now in front of you, but your arms are still in the same place, if that makes sense. It's the rest of you that's moved. Your arms are still the same, your feet have switched and you're facing the other way now. Once you can do that, you can head into doing 3 turns. So start with outside 3 turns, they're easier. So for outside 3 turns, you want to start in a neutral starting position, push off onto your outside edge. You want your inside arm behind you, your outside arm ahead of you. So I've just realised that phrasing's a little bit confusing if you don't know what I'm on about. So the direction of the curve, the side of your outside edge, because you're on your outside edge, that's the arm you want behind you. So you want your body swivel to hit that outside edge. Once you've done a little bit of a semicircle on the outside edge, you want to put your free leg bent and tucked into the back of your skating foot. And then just like with the 2-foot change of edge, you just want to swivel your hips and turn and exit on a backwards inside edge. And you should have drawn a nice little 3 shape on the ice. Once again, with everything in skating, it just takes practice, practice and more practice to be able to do it. But once you have your outside 3 turns down, you can try your inside 3 turns. So inside 3 turns are a little bit more complicated. My favourite entry into them when you're practicing is to start in a neutral position. So you start in a neutral position, push off into a inside edge, swing your free leg forward to really hit that inside edge. So you've drawn a little semicircle on the ice with that leg. Then the leg that is the free leg that's now in front of you, step onto that on an inside edge and draw a semicircle going the opposite way. As you hit back into the middle of your line between your 2 semicircles, swivel your hips and exit on a back outside edge. You should have drawn a 3 on the ice again. And if your ice has just been cut, you'll be able to look at your feet and see if it's there. Just takes practice. Those ones are harder. See if you can do them. Just keep going. Skating is just about practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing. So the last move I wanted to teach you all was how to do a basic 2-foot spin with a basic entry, which a couple of the contestants were doing 2-foot spins. Some of them were doing them from pivots though, which is a different entry, but this is a moving entry, which I think's easier than doing it from pivots actually. So you want to start in a 2-foot glide, then so where it gets a bit confusing. So you're on a 2-foot glide, and now, as if you're going to do a circle on the ice, you're edging your glide, and whichever hand is on the inside of that circle, that's the hand you want in front of you, and the other hand you want behind. So the opposite of how your arms are for your 3 turns is how you want them for your 2-foot spin. So your edge glide, you want to do about a circle and a half, and it should be spiralling inwards into the middle. Once you've done about a circle and a half, it's like a little bit on and off, depends. You should get used to feeling it. So you'll have your knees bent as you do the spiral. As you get into the middle of the spiral, pick your knees, like you stand up, pick your knees up, pull your arms round into your chest and spin. That's basically it. It takes practice, so really make sure that you're bending into your knees on the edge and really pulling up as you hit the middle of that spin. Those are the 5, there were actually low-key kind of 6 things I just taught you, but those are the 5 basic moves that are in the dancing on ice things. If you would like me to do my own dancing on ice style routine with those 5 moves so you can see how they're being put together, let me know. And if you would like sort of more basic stroking and crossovers in a video, let me know and I would love to do that. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in a few days.